Happy Monday, everyone. Parshat Lecha. What is the origin story of Avraham Avinu, Abraham, our forefather? Noach, we have at least one sentence in the development of the story with the flood. It says, Noach ish tzadik tamim haya bedorotav. Noach was a righteous man, perfect in his generation. Moshe Rabbeinu, we have a whole origin story. From when he was born, put in the basket, what happened with him and the Egyptian, when he buried him in the sand, burning bush, going back, freeing the people. The story of Lecha is the beginning of our story as a people. And yet, what is the origin story of Abraham? At some point, we know that Abraham is a monotheist. As it says in the verses, he calls out to the name of Hashem. But it doesn't say anything in the verses about the origin story of Abraham, of Avraham Avinu. It says nothing. Starts off, Vayomer Hashem el Avram, Lech lecha me'aretzecha u'mimoladetecha u'mibeit avicha, el haaretz asher arecha. And Hashem says to Avram, go walk out for yourself, go leave for yourself from your land, from your birthplace, from the house of your father, to the land that I will show you. Well, why did Hashem choose Avraham to speak to Avraham? Avraham, the first Jew, so to speak. Depends how you define Jew, but the first Jew. The first Jew. The Midrashim have their stories with the smashing of the idols. It's not found in the Torah. Those are passed down through the Midrashim, how he smashed the idols. Those stories are there. The Kivshana Eish, the miracle with the furnace, is also in the Midrashim. Those Midrashim exist to answer that question. We pass down these stories to answer that question. Why Abraham? One of the greatest answers I heard was quoted in the name of the Sfat Emet. The Sfat Emet says, and this is consistent actually with the Rambam in the Mor Nevuchim, Maimonides in the Guide for the Perplexed, and it's consistent with the language actually. When Hashem is speaking to other people in the Bible, besides for Moses, the usual language is Vayomer, Vayomer. But when Hashem speaks to Moses, it's Vaidaber, Vaidaber, the amount of Vaidaber. The Rambam explains the differences of language is a reference to the difference in levels of prophecy, meaning Moses spoke face to face, but Avraham did not speak face to face with Hashem on the level of Moses, and it's right there in the language. But the Sfat Emet says something amazing. The Sfat Emet says Hashem was saying Lech Lecha to everyone back then, 5,000 years ago. Hashem was saying prophetically, trying to say. Obviously Hashem couldn't make it happen, but people have free will to reach the level to hear. But the Sfat Emet says only Avraham achieved the ability to hear. Only Avraham chose to hear Lech Lecha. And that's why the Torah records Vayomer Hashem el Avram Lech Lecha. Because Avraham understood that there was only one God. The Rambam tells us an amazing story. He says that in Hilchot Yesodei Torah, that Avraham was not the first monotheist. If you open up the Encyclopedia Britannica, Abraham will be brought up under the entry of monotheism, as the father of monotheism. But the Rambam tells us a different story. The Rambam says Avraham was not the father of monotheism. Avraham rediscovered monotheism after it was forgotten. Many generations before Abraham, the Rambam says that everyone knew there was one God. But when they started to ascribe greatness to all the creations, generation after generation, they forgot that there is only one creator, there is only one God. And it took Abraham, Ha'itan, they call Abraham in the literature, the mighty one, to rediscover monotheism. And that's why it says, Vayom Hashem al Avram Lech Lecha, go out for yourself. We all have to strive to hear Hashem. And we are not prophets, but we have something perhaps even greater. We have the Torah, which was written from Hashem, from Moses, from Hashem, the greatest prophet of all. Moshe, who spoke to Hashem panim el panim. We stood at Mount Sinai, according to our tradition, we heard, this is our claim, we heard the first two commandments. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am the Lord your God who took you out of the land of Egypt. And then we heard the second commandment, you shall not have any other gods upon my face. And then we told Moses, no more, please. It's too strong. It's too potent of an experience. Please, Moses, can you give us the rest? You'll relay to us the rest. And that's exactly what happened. We left Egypt, we stood at Mount Sinai. And it all starts in this week's Parsha. And Hashem speaks to Avram, he doesn't change his name yet, Avram, and says, Lech Lecha. Abraham chose to listen. We all have free will. We all can choose to listen. Have a great week. I'll see you right before Shabbos. Bye.